Hello, everyone. I hope you will join me as I share some things about women's health on this short of Keeping It Simple, which is dedicated to women over 50. So let's just jump on in. We're going to talk about menopause and perimenopause. Menopausal and perimenopausal women, let's talk. A lot of us women think that the symptoms we experience with menopause or perimenopause is solely due to hormones. That's what doctors tell you. That's what we've all been told over the years. Well, did you know there's a link between your hormone, estrogen, and the liver? What does the liver do? It detoxes. And the estrogen that our ovaries once produced has a protective effect on the liver by regulating bile production and reducing inflammation, which can protect the liver from liver disease, things such as fatty liver. You know, you don't only get fatty liver from drinking alcohol. Now, when menopause occurs and estrogen levels significantly drop, the liver becomes vulnerable to fatty liver disease. This is the period in which there is weight gain and an increased chance of developing diabetes due to the body becoming insulin resistant. After all, estrogen can influence blood sugar in the body in a positive way. But without estrogen, it becomes harder for the regulation of the blood sugar. So when menopause occurs, perimenopause also, the body is bombarded with double or maybe triple the toxins because the hormones women experiencing menopause are depleted and cannot help the body recover. The liver, kidneys, and colon, and even the skin cannot handle detoxing the body completely. A woman's menstrual cycle detox the body at a higher percentage than those four organs combined. So, the sweats start in, and we've all been told it's due to lack of estrogen, and that's part of it, but it's also due to toxin buildup in the body. Sugar is the number one substance that builds up and has nowhere to go after we start experiencing the lack of estrogen. The inflammation that doctors want to convince you is a normal part of aging, and they call it arthritis, is in fact toxins binding to your joints. The fat stomach is accumulated because sugar and carbohydrates the body does not burn off or dispose of turns to fat. So women, we experience hot flashes. That's the number one thing that women hate. But the number one thing I hated was the aching joints, the inflammation. That was the worst for me because it was 24/7. At least hot flashes, they come and go. You have the memory loss. And here's another thing that, that I researched also, and I'm just going to read it off of this piece of paper that I wrote it on. When there's a rush of toxins to the kidneys and they can't filter out, it will cause the adrenal glands, they sit right on top of the kidneys, to activate in a way that is not helpful. It increases the heart rate and blood pressure. That is what heats you up to the hot flashes. You will sweat because the skin takes over to eliminate what the kidneys cannot. What the toxins that brum rush the kidneys, your body will start sweating to try to eliminate all of that. Sometimes you have to pee immensely behind that because that's your adrenaline and your adrenal glands and your kidneys working hard trying to filter out what they've been bum rushed with. Being overburdened, the kidney cannot filter enough and the adrenal glands cannot regulate metabolism. So included with the toxins, you also will have cortisol now building up, which also can cause fat. Cortisol, just like estrogen, is also important to regulating blood sugar. Now, what can women going through menopause and perimenopause do? The first thing you can do is to detox. Or that could be your second thing. Or the second thing could be mindful of the foods that you put into your body. I know all of your life you've enjoyed whatever foods taste good, the junk food. They put so many chemicals in food that bind to your body. And whether it's healthy or not, as long as it tastes good, that's the way we are. But let me put this out there. Food is an addiction, and it's one that's hard to break. But if you ever want that body to feel good again and be flexible, you have to lower that sugar intake dramatically and focus more on fruits and vegetables. Cut down or cut out the red meat and focus on lean meats like chicken and fish and turkey. And let me just touch on the fact that sugar can come to you in many ways. Some people go, well, I don't eat candy. You don't have to eat a lot of candy. You got sugar in alcoholic beverages, sodas, juices, bread, rice, your potato chips. I mean, all of this stuff will turn into sugar in your body. Sugar is the number one thing that damages the body. And red meat is the number one cause of certain inflammation, especially in the knees. Whenever your body is due for a detox, you cannot handle eating red meat as much as you used to. As for detoxing, there are teas, herbal pills with certain supplements targeted just for a detox. And no, a laxative is not the answer because it only flushes the water in your colon. It does not scrape and clean off the colon. You need detoxing that helps kidneys, colon, liver, and skin. Once you detox and consume healthier choices, your body will cooperate. Your menopause or perimenopause symptoms will become less and less unbearable and in time gone. And it don't matter how old you are. If you are in your 60s, 70s, and you have a lot of inflammation, you can do the same thing. Try to pull that inflammation off of your joints so that you can become more flexible. And you can do this for memory loss. Anyway, thanks for watching.